They have said that the job of a missionary is to work himself out of a job. For over 18 years, we served in the Philippines and worked ourselves out of many jobs. We started Village Bible Baptist Church in 1991 and continued there for over 10 years. During that time, we organized that church and led the church in a building program. Finally, in 2003, we turned the leadership of that church over to a young couple that had been assisting us from the beginning. In January of 2004, we took the leadership of Bible Baptist Church of Iloilo City. This church had been started by my father, David Steffy, in 1978. In fact, I was with my dad as a teenager when he started this church. We considered it a privilege to take the leadership of this great church for this period of time, and so immediately we went to work to start a Christian school. We also continued on with the Bible school to train young people for the gospel ministry. Finally, in April of 2008, we turned the leadership of this ministry over to Ireneo Bugtong, who is now their pastor. Under his leadership, the academy is continuing on with its mission, and our converts are serving the Lord all over the world. We had wanted to continue longer in Iloilo, but God had other plans. I had 2 lung collapses and had to be medevaced out of the Philippines in April of 2008. At the end of our medical furlough, God was not giving us peace about going back to the Philippines just yet, but instead showed us about the great need in the country of New Zealand. We learned of how there are so many areas there without churches like ours, but we also learned that there are so many Filipinos who have immigrated there for work, and there would be a great opportunity to reach the country and start churches working with Filipinos who are already in the country. There were even some there who were out of our ministry in the Philippines who would be able to help us once we arrived on the field. We even took a survey trip to New Zealand in June of 2010 and felt quite at home and felt very welcome in that country. But because of visa problems, we learned that we will not be able to get into New Zealand. In February of 2011, I had taken a trip with my dad to the Philippines. It was good to see the Filipino brethren once again, the people that we had won to the Lord, the lives that we touched, the church that we had a part in and started from scratch with sweat and tears still going strong, the missionaries we helped send out, the joy of seeing believers restored back into the fold once again, the academy children in the school we started, the Bible students in the Bible seminary we worked so many years to develop, the people we can think of as our own kids still faithfully serving the Lord, and so much more. But one of the highlights of the trip was attending the global conference at Bible Baptist Church in Cebu City. As we sat with the Filipinos, we noticed that they sat on the edge of their seats, and we could sense their passion for world evangelism. I could sense then and there that God was working on my heart, leading me back to Asia and the Philippines. As we were leaving the Philippines, we led a Filipino doctor to the Lord in Mactan Airport in Cebu soon after these pictures were taken here. It seemed that God was speaking to me through this man about his need for me back in the Philippines. The Philippines is still open. We know the culture, language, and people. That is where our heart is. God is now calling us back there. We know that God has a place in ministry waiting for us when we get back to the Philippines. Please help us get back so that we can work with those Filipinos who have that passion to reach the world.
Go reach the world, touch one more soul, bring one more lamb back to the fold. Each soul another flag unfurled, each one another voice to reach the world. Each soul another flag unfurled, each one